Welcome to the Motivation Without the Hype podcast with your host, Gez Perez. He's an author, high-performance coach, and motivational speaker. This show brings you inspiring messages and interviews to unleash your greatness in life and in business. So let's get started.
Hi everyone, welcome to Motivation Without the Hype podcast show. My name is Gez Perez, a former procrastinator into an action taker. We bring you inspirational messages and interviews, including motivation insights, tips, principles, and proven strategies that you can take action on without the hype and unleashing your greatness in life and in business. Now, I'm super excited because we're bringing you a podcast series, and it is Consistency Produces Success. This is part number 3, and in today's episode, it's how consistency can be a powerful tool and motivator. So let's get started. Now, in order to be successful in your personal and professional life, you need to be consistent. Now, in the last 2 episodes, if you want to be consistent, you got to stay committed. And if you want motivation, you got to make a decision, right? Whether you feel like it or not, decision plays a key part to your commitment. Now, achieving peace of mind, wealth, or happiness takes dedication, hard work, and a regular application of specific actions in order for you to be effective. Now, we are talking about the power of consistency and how it can help you reach your goals. So now we're going to be sharing with you in this episode about some thoughts I want to share with you. And thought number 1 is, what is the power of consistency? These are the questions I want to just put out there for us to understand, why it's important that we need consistency. Now, a fundamental premise states what you declare to yourself privately will have the power to dictate your future, right? I'm a firm believer that the choices you make today, the commitment and the consistency that you put on your daily effort, right, is going to dictate your future and your outcomes and results that you need. Now, recently, I put a quote there before, and I said, it's not just about outcomes, it's about outlook. Right. And I got that. I'm not gonna copyright this because I actually got this from a favorite conference back in the Philippines just a couple weeks ago. And, when I was listening to the speaker, Henry Seeley, and he's just a phenomenal guy. And, he said about, don't just look about outlook. You get frustrated about outcomes. And sometimes we are, we don't get the result that we need, but all we need is just perspective and outlooks to see from a different area, different lens to say, okay, I've stuffed up. Don't worry, I need to get better, and I'm going to see the lens of the possibilities. Because when you start to see things in the possibilities that you don't see it in the physical realm, you start to go forward to that and you start to see the fruition of it, right? And again, we cannot see the result yet until we put the work effort inside. And I want to just encourage you, you may not see the effort now, you may not see the result right now, but you got to put the effort daily, because once you put the effort daily, you start to see that results. Right? And this is where consistency happens, is when you stay consistent and you keep attacking and you keep attacking, you start to see your goals come to pass. Right? And so this is the reason why people fail. This is the reason why people give up. Right? Is because they don't see it. And we're so accustomed to, the cookie cutter and the microwave results, which doesn't even get us that solid result. And so when you stay consistent on a daily basis, you start to build great foundations of commitment and character in your consistency. So these thoughts, really transform the way you do business or your life or studies or from social relations or much more. Now, in order to harness the power of consistency, you first need to harness your thought process. And only then you can make the power of consistency work in your favor. The second thought question is, how is consistency beneficial? There's great power in consistent that many people overlook. One of the main benefits is that it can make up for a lack of natural talent, be it in your personal life or your professional life. Spending time perfecting the process will allow you to gain prize in the long run, right? And, success is never a sprint. It is a marathon, right? And so we can have sprints to go forward, but it may not get our result what we need. So it's always a marathon, it takes time, but just hang in there. Don't give up. Knowing you can change and control your behavior is much harder than being naturally gifted. Once you see that you're able to change your current behaviors through consistency, you're able to change your life dramatically in every way. Now, the third thought is, the downsides of being inconsistent. So what are the downside? What are the challenges of being inconsistent? Well, people's confidence levels are closely linked with the ability to perform. If you are inconsistent, it will make it harder for you to move forward or even thrive forward. As a result, no matter how smart you are or how good you may be doing at something, you will end up staying in the same place. This will result in low levels of self-esteem, and it gets worse. Doing fewer things while being consistent is always going to be more effective than doing many things that's overwhelmed, right? And sometimes, we can be busy by being busy and still stay where you are, right? That is not productivity. You got to stay consistent. And again, it's a gradual process of moving forward, not backwards. So I really encourage you, don't be inconsistent. Stay committed, right? Don't fall in the bandwagon. It's easy, to do a workout on a Monday, then on a Tuesday it gets harder, right? And then you say, you know what, I'll probably do it next week. And you know what happens? You build that habit of being inconsistent. So you may stuff up a day or so, but don't let that be a habit to ruin the goals that you set for yourself. And that's really important. So, one of the things of empowering your commitment and your consistency is make sure you're around people who are the exact same people, who are consistent and are reaching their goals at the same time as well. Really important. The next thought is, momentum and consistency. Making a habit of being consistent is the best way to build momentum. As we all know, a fair amount of momentum is needed to get going, and it's worthwhile completing. By making a habit of working towards your goals each day, you will be in a position to use that moment to achieve your dreams. Now, everyone has dreams, everyone has goals, everyone has aspirations. But to get where you need to be, it takes commitment, it takes a decision, and it takes consistency. So even though you may face some challenges along the way in the road path to your goals, don't worry, it happens. But you just got to rise above and continue to move forward. You may stuff up here and there. You're probably inconsistent one or day or two, but don't make that as a habit of inconsistency. Turn that around to make it a habit of consistency. Now, I trust that, today's episode has been insightful, and these thoughts have helped you rewire your mindset to make things happen for your life. It's important to set goals, but at the same time, it's important to build, habits, form good habits to where you need to go in your life and in your business as well. Now, for more information on how we can help and support you, and again, I appreciate you listening in today's podcast series. Access, our discovery session to help you take your life and business to the next level, or head over to jezperez.com. Now, if this episode has been helpful and uplifting, we would love for you to write a review to inspire more listeners to get plugged in. We will continue to provide high value content in each and every episode. If you don't mind sharing this podcast show on social media by inviting others, it will mean the world to me. Every time you tag me, we will get the opportunity to share those posts, and together we can make a difference in the lives of others through inspirational episodes just like this. So there you have it. In closing, continue to unleash your greatness and tell yourself that I can, I will, and I must, and we'll see you on the next episode.